Chapter 12. Forgiveness. I know that this next chapter may seem out of place, but I assure you that it plays a huge role in the evolution of humanity, as well as a major factor for each of us as awakening individuals on this journey to healing. Forgiveness has been such a huge part of my awakening. Anyone who comes from a dysfunctional family already knows what I'm talking about. I'm not here to point fingers. I'm not here to judge others for their actions. Our parents were attempting to deal with their own issues from abuse they had themselves while growing up. Years of failure, worry, abuse, and sadness takes a lot out of you. It tends to change a person, but usually not in a good way. What comes out is exactly what resides within. Well, you might say they had a choice, which is true. But if your cup was full of pain, then pain was all you have to offer. Giving love requires that you have love to begin with, otherwise you have none to give. I believe people's natural state of being is love. It's just that we get lost somewhere along the way. We get pulled down and blinded by our own pain and misery. That is the thing with Earth. We forget who we are. Not only do we forget who we are, we also forget who everyone else is as well. You then see everyone as being separate from you, and separation creates fear. And fear creates a whole list of things like insecurity, jealousy, hatred, anger, bitterness, and greed. Fear is actually the opposite of love, not hate. Hate is a byproduct of fear. Fear is the root problem with pretty much all of society today. If we could all realize that we are all parts of God, all pieces of Source, then we would understand that the illusion of separation does not exist. We are them, they are us. It is all God seeking to know itself. I know I'm getting off track a bit, but for a good reason. It helps you to understand why things are the way they are. Ignorance melts away in the presence of understanding. It is the not knowing that causes all our problems. Religion feeds the fear. Please don't get me wrong. Religion gives you a starting foundation. It gets you thinking about things you may not have ever considered otherwise. But sadly, they push the idea of separation onto us. They teach that we are separate from God, which is false. It is not possible to be separate from your own original source. I was religious. I even attended a church-based private school for 6 years. We were force-fed their beliefs for the entire time. Funny. Out of hundreds of kids that were in attendance there, I'm only aware of 2 of us who managed to escape that doctrine, myself and one other. Of course, fear is a big factor. When threatened by hell and damnation if one does not follow their path, it is easy to see why many look no further. It is a big point I am getting at. If the message is fear, then beware. God is unconditional love. Love is the opposite of fear. Any questions? Fear has been used to control. We have been duped. Earth is a game of free will. God never interferes. God doesn't cause bad things to happen to us. We do that ourselves. Hopefully we learn from our mistakes and move on. If not, we keep repeating the same lessons over and over until we do understand. Now we will get back to forgiveness. I'm getting ready to introduce you to another mind-opening concept. Your pre-life life. Yes, you are an eternal being. You are immortal, the same as God, because you are that. Not the body, but you, the light within, the driver of the body. Anyway, Before you were born, you went through this meticulous process of planning out this, as well as all of your other lifetimes. Why? Because you get to choose exactly what lessons you wish to experience while you are here. You not only choose your lessons, you choose the obstacles that you will deal with along the journey. The obstacles that will direct you to learn specific things. In other words, you handpicked your parents for the sole purpose of what you choose to experience during your lifetime. The same goes for every major person in your life. Siblings, teachers, friends, all of it. You all agree to play your individual parts in order to help each other meet both your and their evolutionary goals as a soul. It is a huge process. You also choose your body, race, location, everything, according to what challenges you make for yourself. So you see, no one is to blame. It is all set up. Of course, you cannot remember this once you get here, because if you could, the whole lifetime would be void and no lessons would be learned. There would be no soul growth. That is what we seek, soul growth. The people in your life were chosen by you in order to act on your behalf. They are like unknowing actors. They love you dearly, and you love them dearly. I like to call them care actors, LOL, because here on earth, they're truly characters. I hope this gives you a new perspective on life and allows you to forgive the ones who give you the toughest time, whether it be parents, ex-wives, husbands, bosses, anyone who pushes your buttons. Forgive them, and forgive yourself for being angry or bitter at them. I would like to end this chapter with something I wrote once I understood how things really worked. They didn't stop you from flying. The very act of them holding you back ensured the fact that you would succeed. They were not your enemies. They were your saviors. For it was because of them that you pushed to find yourself. It was because of them you pushed yourself beyond anything that they could ever imagine for themselves. Because of them, you flew.